highly coveted panelists of the government panel that has now been formed under the chairmanship of President Kovind. One nation, one election is what they're going to be looking at. This committee has been formed on Friday. I want to go across to senior advocate in the Supreme Court and King's Counsel, Mr. Harish Salve. A lot of things are having to be deliberated in this particular panel that's been formed. The government's setting the ball is rolling on this now. I want to ask you one question, sir. You are a constitutional expert. This will require amendments to the Constitution, maybe to the other acts that are there. It could require ratification rates. How soon do you think the panel can submit a report, sir?
I've just been informed. I was just seeing the notifications. It's very early to make any comment. But if we get down to work, there's already a lot of work which has gone into it. The pros and the cons, and of course, it's the president, the former president of India who heads the panel. He will set down how we need to work, whether he's going to invite objections and comments from civil society, or whether the report has to be produced by us or by ourselves. We'll have to see all that. But I think a few months we should be able to turn out a report, subject to the diaries and commitments of other people.
Yes. And I also...
Hello?
Sir, if you can hear me. I said, sir, there were simultaneous polls that were held in the country till 1967. This is the way that polls had been held. Even in Lok Sabha for the first time dissolved a year ahead of schedule, midterm elections were held. The practice only stopped later. So why do you think the opposition is now having an issue with something that just makes it fairer for elections to be held in India?
I would not like to comment on any of this right now. We are on a panel. We must consider arguments for and against and give our report. So I would not like to comment out of turn like this.
Yes, sir, that's always been your fundamental political issue. But I do want to ask you, the Constitution, do you think in such cases a ratification
again, it's early as yet. I don't know whether a ratification, I doubt if a ratification will be necessary, but you may require a constitutional amendment if you need to embed it in the Constitution. And yes, we can. That amendment can be made, maybe even by legislation it may be possible. So we'll have to examine that carefully.
Yes, absolutely. Sir, I also want to ask you two more questions. A special session of the Parliament has been called from September 18 to 22. Do you think this is something that could be deliberated there as well?
I doubt if this will be deliberated. I don't know what the special session is for, but if a government has set up a panel for an expert report, there's no way in which the report is going to be ready in a week. So I don't think this could be for that purpose.
Yes. Mr. Salve, several cases before this. You've also been in the 370 case. You've, of course, represented India in international cases. You work with a painstaking efforts when it comes to certain changes in the Constitution or understanding certain case law. In this, I believe that there could also be, like you said, certain amendments needed to the Constitution, the Representation of People Act and other relevant...
Maybe a statutory amendment may serve the purpose. So we have to examine it closely.
Yes. And, sir, how do you think the deliberations, how soon do you think this deliberation, because we do believe with this government and with the way you yourself work promptly, quickly, that the panel could be sitting soon and suggestions could be coming in quickly?
Yes. It all depends on what case is said. And now the great thing is we don't have to physically get together in a room. We all get onto a Zoom call and start working straight away from wherever we are in the middle of other work. So, yes, of course.
Yes. Sir, one final question. The Centre has formed the panel on this one nation, one election. Several people, of course, I asked about the opposition. I know you won't speak about the political aspect of it, but several people in India look forward to such progressive changes because this really means the country gets united.
Well, as I said, I'm not passing any, I would not like to make my personal views public now, because whatever one's views are, when you're on a panel like this, you have to always be open to be persuaded to change your views or to improve your views, to sharpen your views. So that's what this exercise is going to be, and whatever we think is best for India, the panel will recommend.
Absolutely. Sir, several high-profile people, along with you yourself on the panel, like you said, former President Ramnath Kovind, the other members are Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Congress MP Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, there's former Rajya Sabha LOP Ghulam Nabi Azad and others. This clearly means the panel is also well-balanced because we are going to try and take views from all sides of it.
That's true. That's true.
Yes. And, sir, there's also a government notification which you've seen that says the law minister will attend the meetings of the high-level committee as a special invitee. The committee is set up before the assembly polls. So, sir, of course, we know that this committee will start working quickly. But one word about our constitution, one word about the parliament that's matured, discussion will take place. In what's being called the mother of democracy, there's always evolution. Do you think now, in this case, it's also time for evolution, constitutionally, legislatively, if you said an amendment or something?
As I said, we have to examine it. And if we come down on the side of recommending that there should be one nation, one election, then we will also have to suggest a mechanism of going about it. I mean, I've always been a votary of one nation, one election, but being on a panel like this, you hear also with an open mind arguments against and then come up with a report.
Yes. Sir, as I thank you for joining us at Republic TV, I'm quite sure a bulk of the work when it comes to really painstakingly looking at the Constitution, looking at certain amendments shall be done by you. So we're looking forward to having lots of deliberations or maybe lots of interviews with you on this. I thank you for joining us on this, sir.